Hello and welcome into the Piles of Paragraphs creative space. I'm Lori, and today I thought I would show you how I use book page strips to make a journal cover. I like to use these shipping envelopes that I get from Amazon or from other things through the mail, and this is a good way to recycle them into a nice little journal cover. I also think this is a great way to use your scraps. In this case, and in usual cases, I take pages from books that I don't necessarily like to use in my journals. Either they're a theme I don't like, or usually it's only because it's a theme I don't like. So I take them and cover the front and back of these mailers with them. And it's a great way to use them up. Sometimes I buy books because I really like the covers and I don't really like the content. This one was some sort of a how-to financial book, I think. There's nice big pages, and it's a relatively new book, so the paper is nice, but not really necessarily something I'm going to use in my journals. For a while I was coffee dyeing the pages, which I like, but I haven't had a chance to do much coffee dyeing for quite a while. And then another one of the books that I have in my collection is the Warren Report, and while it's full of interesting information, it's not really the kind of information I want to have showing in my journals. Oops, sorry, knocked my glue stick over. And so usually what I do is I take the strips or scraps, and I do upside down and right side up, so that it just becomes a background, really, more than about what it says. And that helps me be less concerned about the topic at hand. As you see, these are all very, very straight strips. I took my metal ruler and just tore up stacks of these particular pages. I don't always have nice straight pieces for my covers. Sometimes I tear them by hand, but wherever the box is of my hand-torn strips, I couldn't find it this morning, so I thought, okay, we will just use some of these pages that I have sitting around. And I didn't think you'd want to sit and watch me tear strips of paper for a long period of time. Or it doesn't really take that long, maybe 10 minutes. But 10 minutes watching me do it in a video, it's like eternity. So I cover both sides of the mailing envelope, and I leave the mailing envelope whole. I go back and, as in this case, I glued down the flap where I had opened it, and made sure it was good and sealed, and then it will be a nice weight, I think. I like the feel of the double thickness of the envelope. And since the majority of this will be covered with other collage and other decorations, you don't really need to have interesting things on in this particular stage. I actually find it better for me if I don't have anything too interesting, because then I don't have any qualms about decorating over the top of it. Sometimes if I fall in love too much with the background, then I have a problem decorating it. Which is one of the reasons why I usually use book page and not printed papers. Okay, another one of these. Oh, I should have stories to tell you if I'm going to be doing this rather boring, repetitive action, shouldn't I? I don't have any. I don't have any stories at all that I can think of. Goodness. I've already got really sticky fingers. So it doesn't take too long to cover these. I get my fingers off so I stop sticking to everything. And I also don't worry too much about the edges if I see them popping up, but you can, because I will go back later and add a little of my art glitter glue in case I miss the edges and smooth it out. And often as a finishing technique, I will put some matte medium or something over the finished cover so that it doesn't get marked by fingerprints, or if you happen to have it sitting on your desk working in it or writing in it, and get a little ink that's gone astray, or lunch, or whatever the case may be. So I do seal it in the end, but it is when this is done, it has a fantastic hand feel to it. And you know me, I like texture and I like the way things feel. That's all part of the experience for me, is both of those two things. Ooh. And so there's a nice little stack I have of the strips that don't want to come apart. Oh, once again, I forgot to write down the time I started my video, so I apologize. This will be if my plan goes as it's currently written in my brain, this will be part one of a short series of making a journal out of recycled or upcycled bits and pieces. At least the cover will be. I don't know about the pages yet. I haven't decided what to use for those. I know my affinity for using junk mail. Maybe I'll make this into a truly junk journal, but the cover's definitely nice enough to use with a digital kit, or some other papers that you have. I don't know that I would necessarily use any of my vintage documents in this, but I might. I was going to say, because I don't know how well they'd hold up, but we got old paper anyway. There's nothing saying that it likely is acid free, because generally speaking, I'm sure it's not. And these little delivery envelopes are just about the right size for a single signature journal, or sometimes I do more than one signature. You can always add on to either end if you want a bit bigger book. That should do it. And with these little strips that I have hanging off the edges, you can either go back and trim them off, or turn them under, which I think I will probably do in this case, just so that the edge, the top and bottom edge, are completely covered with book page. Probably not at all necessary, but part of part of the aesthetic that I enjoy. Well, hello, Sid. My kitty Sid has come to visit. How you doing, bud? Hi, little one. Get in the window. All right. He's the one I'm sure I mentioned before. I thought he would be my YouTube video buddy because he's my cat. Hi. Are you going to come into video? No, you're just going to sit there and look handsome. Okay. All right, bud. Why don't you lay down? You've had your lunch now, so I know you're not hungry. So we have one side done. And that wasn't too bad for timing. So then you go through and do the same thing with the other side. I think I'm going to let this dry, though, before I glue those tabs over. So I don't get anything funky on the edges. Set that aside to dry. I started this one earlier and went ahead and tried to glue the tabs down. I think that was a bit premature. So while I still have you here, I'll finish this one up. And this one isn't from Amazon. It's some other company sent it, and it's a little bit softer. The Amazon ones tend to be more firm. But any one will work. Even just regular 9 by 12 or 6 by 9 envelopes work great. I know Gail Augustinelli often uses, or used to always use, not always, often used those 9 by 12 envelopes as a base for her journal covers, and that's also a nice surface to work on. A bit bigger journal than this one. But like I said, you can always add onto the edges if you'd like to have a bigger journal. More of my bigger strips. And this is a pretty forgiving material to work with. And at the end of the day, if you make it and you don't like it, you know, you've got a bit of time in it and some bits of paper, but not a lot of money. So I find that to be sometimes a bit more freeing. Sometimes when I buy some beautiful papers, I make myself nervous and don't want to do anything with them because I'm gonna get scared I'm gonna mess them up. But in this case, you're kind of starting with something that would have been junk, probably not even recycled, I don't think. This one definitely probably wouldn't have been recycled because it's got the bubble wrap on the inside. The Amazon ones, I think, are perfectly fine to recycle. It does have the recycling emblem on the Amazon envelope, so. Let's see. Oh, my chair seems abnormally squeaky today. I apologize. Maybe I'm just moving more than I usually do. I don't know about that, but it is creaky today. My husband's desk chair makes the most interesting noises. It's a creak, but not a creak like mine. It's a really different sort of creak. When he first got the chair and was working from home, you know, as he does many days of the week, it drove me crazy because I could hear it very clearly downstairs. This one I did not get enough glue on, so I'm going to add a little bit of my art glitter glue there. And, but I have convinced myself now that it doesn't bother me anymore. Occasionally I'll be like, what the heck was that noise? Like, oh, that's right. It's the chair. It's the office chair. This office chair is really fun. It's a bright orange color. That's his favorite color. So it's made a nice addition to the office / craft space up here. It definitely adds to the landscape of sound in the house. It doesn't seem to bother the cats at all. Many of the things that I do bother the cats significantly, but his chair doesn't seem to annoy them. Let's see. We're down pretty well. Okay. Let's see. Do I have some more? I also have some other bits that are a little bit different color that are from a great book, and I didn't mind the content of that one, but they're very fragile. Very, very fragile. So if I fold them, they crack and break apart. So I think they will end up being mostly used for collage, and I think they'll make a really interesting book cover too, but I guess I'll have to try them out and see how they hold up to the gluing. I think in that case I'll probably have to use maybe a PVA glue or a matte medium, put them down and then add the strips to them, because I don't know how they're going to do when I try to run the glue stick over them. And while tears and breaks and stuff don't really matter, the end result of this project, but it does get a bit frustrating when you're trying to get something accomplished and it keeps coming apart in your hands. Okay, well, I think we will call this side good. I will probably also come back, or maybe not, depends, and wrap the edges. You can see on this one, when I opened it really crooked, and it was a little bit smaller than what I wanted. So I just got another piece of packing material, the packing paper that we often get in our packages, and added that to the edge, so it would square it up, and it would be a little bit closer to the size that I want the finished size to be. So here we got that. This one, oops, sorry. I decided I would put down this little plastic sheet today to try to protect my lovely purple cutting board. From all the glue, because I knew I'd be doing a lot of gluing today. Like I said, I'm not sure this is, let's see, I think what I'm going to do first is run some glue stick along these tabs to kind of help make them to stick initially, and then I will come in with my art glitter glue, or I guess a PVA. PVA would be really good for this. I just don't have any in a bottle that dispenses like my art glitter glue does. Ooh, okay. Don't fail me now. Go back over the tabs and mostly the edges. But like I said, if something's loose or turned up, you can go back and tack it down later. Or chances are pretty good too, you're going to be gluing something over the top of it. Okay, I'll put the pin back in my glitter glue. Oops. Oh, always easier said than done there. Okay, and then I'll just fold the strips over. Probably should have gone from the other direction, huh? Since that's the way I layered them. Just a little extra protection on the edges. Although these mailers are pretty durable. Well, that doesn't look too bad, other than the fact I see my ink from one of my books is smudging, but that does add to the grungy. stick along there. Let's see. Which way do I have this one layered? Oh, let's do that. Yeah. Don't forget the art glitter glue. I imagine you probably could also even use Elmer School glue for this. I haven't tried it though. I think it probably would work since I think it is a version of the PVA glue that they often use in books. Okay, let's see. Oh goodness, guys. Easier said than done. Pin back in my art glitter glue today. Wow. I did wake up this morning with a little bit of a headache, so I'm going to ask you for forgiveness for my fingers not working. This one I don't want to start on. Yeah, there we go. This way, then they're layered more like like tiles. And if you do wrap them over like this and you don't quite get the coverage that you want, you can always come along with another strip and wrap either around this way, or you could go down the side, I suppose. Although I think that might be a little bit more finicky than, or fiddly even than I want to do. So here we go. There we go. There's the start. So I will let you go for today and say thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll come back and join me soon for the next segment in this series. So I'll say goodbye now from the Piles of Paragraphs creative space, and I'll go back to gluing. Bye-bye for now.